Yo, 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 yo. We back.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all?
Got my man Mike with me. This your boy. Oh, are you Mike or you Tony Michaels when you do
Man,
the podcast?
I mean, it's pointless to even mention it. So it's just like
Yeah,
my
cause
name is regular, regardless. Like, people know me as both.
yeah,
So.
cause I was just torn on what I was gonna go about, whether I was gonna be like Teddy or Bear or Avery. Like I was, you kind of want to switch up. I feel like you want to switch up, don't you?
I mean, it depends on the situation. Like with me, like it really doesn't matter. But if I'm going by just my short films or poems or anything like that, author alias, like that's technically what it is. So if I'm going off of just by author aliases, then yeah, I'd rather me be just that. But normally, I'm just Mike.
All right. I think for this podcast, I'm gonna just be Avery. I think I'm take the coat off, take the bear fur off. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be just be normal Avery. You know what I'm saying? So Mike he be trying to have me organized. So speaking of organization, we got a name for the podcast.
Yes, we finally do.
It's called Breaking the Narrative Podcast, B.T.N for short. If you missed the first episode, it's on YouTube. This is episode number 2, and the balance we're gonna have is some episodes will be foolery, and some episodes will be very knowledgeable. You'll get both on both episodes, but the balance will be 80% knowledge, 20% foolery, or it'll be 80% foolery with 20% knowledge.
Yeah, Avery just decided to give me the bulk of the quote unquote knowledge because I mean I ain't that damn smart.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be foolery though. I like to have fun, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I could be knowledgeable, but you already do it, so the responsibility should fall on you. I feel like.
Hell, so I just gotta have like sole responsibility.
Yeah, Mike can't have no. Hey, I know that little meme where SpongeBob and Patrick running and Squidward looking mad out the window. Like that's what we got Mike doing, y'all. Like he's Squidward, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have the fun. Mike got to do all the knowledgeable stuff.
I mean, but Squidward was one of the realest niggas though.
He was. He wasn't happy though. He ain't looked in that meme. He ain't look too happy.
I mean, that's where we kind of like opposites there. Like, other than that, I think we good. Like I completely understand Squidward's personality. Like when you're a kid, you kind of like you relate to SpongeBob more because he's fun, easygoing, annoying.
Definitely
Annoying. But then you
Maybe
realize
too annoying. Maybe a little too annoying.
Yeah.
I gravitate to Patrick more.
Is it the size or is it just the fact that you just goofy?
A little bit of both.
All right, I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
But with Squidward, you gotta look at it like this. Like Squidward, like he's just the typical person in the world. Like we don't like most of the people that's around us.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go to work, we can't stand the job, but there's people in there who love making less than what they're worth. And he was just real. Like he said what was on his mind. I mean, he did have those moments when he would lie. It would be kind of like over the top.
Yeah.
But who doesn't though? Like who doesn't?
Yeah. Shout out to Squidward, man. Very unsung hero of your cartoon childhood.
And facts, man. He should have got his roses when they was doing the talent show, man.
Oh, yeah.
SpongeBob all he's doing was sweeping.
Had niggas going crazy. Niggas was born and all that, and then came out with the little broom. They was like, hold up, what's going on? And then he started sweeping. Niggas started going nuts. I was like, hey, Slim. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, SpongeBob. That was a mean sweep. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Come clean the kitchen for me, Slim.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So, that's our 20% foolery.
I give it about a good 10%. We still got another 10%.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, cause we touching on like some good stuff today, but I might crack a joke here and there,
Yeah, I mean it's mandatory.
Yeah,
you can't just be bland and knowledgeable all day, man. People ain't gonna respond well.
Oh yeah, of course. So you want to break down what we getting into?
Okay, so the first topic that we really wanted to touch base on was basically the generational gap and the knowledge that they sort of didn't pass down because of the things that they had pretty much like neglected to learn purposely in a way.
Okay.
I I actually feel that the generations before is like not even just the first generation before, like the mothers and the fathers and stuff like that. I'm talking
Okay.
about just even the grandparents in general. Like a lot of them didn't have like the knowledge that they needed in order for them to like really pursue further in life. Like they didn't want to do much more than what they were used to,
Right.
and they became content with just being regular. And that in turn, like they taught that to their kids, and then in turn they taught that to us.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's all grandparents and
Oh yeah. We
and
know. We
mothers and
know. Yeah.
fathers, because it's still some out there they doing their thing. Like I
Yeah.
respect them.
Shout out
Like
to
I mean, I still respect the ones that didn't pass down the knowledge because they did give you somewhat of a base in terms of survivability.
right.
I'll give you that. They'll give you somewhat in the base of survivability. But when it comes to advancement and stuff like that, they're pretty much telling you that once you get to a certain point, you should be okay with that, because that's where you should look forward towards like retirement after that.
Right.
Like you go from you go from worker to manager, then manager of a manager. Then after that, you be okay with it. You don't go any further.
Right.
So
Which I've dealt. Well, we've all dealt with in our jobs. A lot of people that's still in that mentality.
yeah, and I've had to deal with them like on numerous occasions.
Facts.
Cause me, I used to work at Target,
Mm-hmm.
and it was people who've been there for 12, 13 years,
Okay.
making like $13 an hour, and okay with it.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't say okay with it. Like they would still complain, but they never do nothing about it.
Right.
Like,
Which essentially means you're okay with it
yeah,
to a
like
degree.
the sense of contentment that they were showing, it was just like, if it's this bad, man, you have so much like experience, you could have done something else.
Right.
Like there's people who would love to hire someone like you. Like most of them could have probably opened their own business by now with the money they had made.
Facts.
But
Facts.
they're just okay with where they're at,
Facts.
and they just want to work until they get that retirement off of them. And by the time that happens, what, they 50, 60 years old?
Yeah.
Like
maybe,
some of them,
maybe like mid-60s.
yeah, something like that. And then it's just like they're okay with being that way for damn near the rest of their life. And they want to live their lives in their later years.
Right. Right. When you can't really enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
Like you can't move around at 70 the way you do now.
Yeah.
At 20, 30, 40, even 50 for that matter, you know, because 50 is starting to be one of those ages where it's like you see some 50-year-olds nowadays and it's like, sheesh, you know what I'm saying? So I used to work at GW, and that mentality was heavy at GW. So when I first started at GW, I think I was 22, I believe. And it's people in their 50s, 60s, 70, and they had been there for 30 and 40 years. Like they would have these award shows, not awards, Jones, but like these recognition little shows. Well, you know, little events, and they would read off like your anniversary, and there's people that been there for 50 years, 45 years,
And that's tough.
and just a regular contemporary worker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not a manager. You're not a supervisor. I can't speak on whether they got stakes in the company or something, or in the school or something like that. I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mentioned that to my mom before. You have stake in the company already? Like I think she's a stockholder, and I was like, man, make sure that you get all of that once you leave.
Right. And it's just like you said, that mentality of just like, you know, it's a program basically.
Yeah.
Like you've been programmed to tough it through life for 40 or 50 years, get a little pension, and then if you survive, you can enjoy what little life you have left.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the generation now, like our generation and the kids under us and even the adults like slightly above us, it's like it's almost like we're more logical
Yeah.
than they were.
Yeah.
Cause you look at that and you be like, yo, something's wrong with that formula.
Yeah.
You know?
Like we want to work smarter, not harder, and they just call that being lazy.
Right. And it's like, and we had this discussion all the time. It's like, one, we know your family got generational curses,
Definitely.
and we definitely gonna get into those. And then it's like just the overall mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the working hard is, if you're not working hard, you consider lazy to them.
Yeah.
When in essence, just because you're taking a shortcut doesn't make it lazy.
Yeah. Like they, not to sound prejudiced or anything like that, but it's just like white people, they've been doing that shit for years. Like
Yeah.
you see how well off they are
It's
now.
built. It's because it's built off of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as we sitting right here, if you was to say like if you was my my grandfather age or something,
Yeah.
and you said, Avery, go to the store and get a loaf of bread, and instead of me, because you used to probably not having a car, you would walk 15 miles or however, you know how the stigma is with the older
Yeah.
people, to go get a loaf of bread. Because I choose to drive to go get a loaf of bread,
Yeah.
you would be like, oh, we ain't had cars back in my day. That's lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, and it's like, we kind of got to break that mold. But then again, you can't really break that mold, because one thing you also know is that mentality is ingrained in people.
Yes, it is. Because there's people out there right now, they working 6 days a week, like they got like 70 hours under their belt.
Yeah. And it's like, if you need to do that to survive, then for a little while, okay. But you got to be working on something to help you out that situation. Because one, your body's not going to hold up forever. You know what I mean? I don't... what you think?
Man, I don't know. It's just like, to be honest, it's a frustrating situation in general, because a lot of them they refuse to just elevate.
Right.
Because I remember I was talking to my cousin once, and I told him, because he went through his little situation and
Okay.
shit, and he's technically trying to find himself and shit. I told him, like, once you feel as though you reach your peak, flap your fucking wings.
Right.
So that means just once you feel as though you've gotten to where you need to get to, elevate, go higher. There's no such thing as a limit. And once we got to a point where we started limiting ourselves, it's not 100% their fault either. Like I can't even 100% put it on them.
Yeah,
because
that's facts.
this was ingrained in them from not just slavery, but from pretty much being ostracized.
Yeah.
Throughout the ages.
Yeah. Systematic oppression and yeah. That's very true too.
So, I would definitely tell them, like, the way I feel is though, like, it's certain things we should have been taught, but we weren't.
Right.
Because they just refused to elevate. And me personally, I had to learn a lot of things on my own. Like, I taught myself how to really write the way I wanted to. I really adore my mom for teaching me how to read as much as I do.
Right.
Well, as of now, like I will never forget that. Like, my mom is like 100% the reason why I am like as good with words as I am now.
Same with me.
So
even though I didn't like it, but
yeah,
it turns out useful. Thanks, Mom.
It's just that base. Like, I had the base, but then I get to the financial side. I didn't learn about a bank account until I was able to open one.
Right.
I didn't really know the stock market really until 2 years ago. I had to teach myself about it and like look up shit for myself.
Right.
I didn't know about like I didn't know about CDs, like certificate of deposit and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching myself these things, how to build like CD ladders and the significance of taxes and all that stuff. Like I would do my own taxes, and then I see other people, they just jump into like going to H&R Block, or we going to Jackson Hewitt or wherever, just so they can pay $400 or $500 to people to do their taxes, when you could have done it yourself for free,
Right.
or at least at a reduced cost.
Yeah, definitely at a reduced cost. Because
Like,
depending on what you make, they're gonna take hundreds from you. H&R Block, that is, or
Yeah.
whoever you decide to go to.
so
And then they got the little thing where it's like you can request in advance, and they're gonna take more. They'll take even from that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
and that right there, like that's an ingrained behavior. It's like
right,
we have been taught to have someone else do it. That way, we can either get an advance, or we can feel as though we don't have to do it ourselves. Instead of actually doing it ourselves, then we make all of the money.
right.
But it's just it's a process. Like, people don't really want to do it.
That's true. I don't think, because it's like, for me, and I'll use the analogy of like somebody coming into a new job, right?
Yeah.
And well, I'll break the quote down first before I do the analogy. So to me, it's more so as like you got to learn it the hard way first, and then you create your own shortcuts or what's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
But if the people learn the comfortable way first, they're not even going to blink when you try to show them the original way to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like you coming into a new job, and let's say the supervisor will be like, "Oh, Avery, this new employee, Mike. You know, you leaving in 2 weeks, so train him how to do what you do or whatever." And instead of me showing you the real way to do the job and letting you form your own shortcuts, so you can hold your own, I just start off by showing you my shortcuts. Nah, bro, you ain't gotta do that. You don't gotta do that. Just do this right here. Do this right here, and then in turn, that's gonna get you in trouble.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then even more so, even if you don't get in trouble initially, once time goes on, and you've got it ingrained in yourself, like this is how you're gonna do this. When somebody comes along and tries to show you the right way to do it, you're gonna reject it more than likely.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's, oh man, you teaching me how to do it the harder way or this and that, and I mean, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, all bucks, I can say that when it comes to my family, I only knew about 2 grandmothers. So, like, as I tell you all the time, I got an older family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, my mom, the age my mom is a lot of people's grandmothers right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And I ain't gonna throw you out there under the bus, mom. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say the age or whatever. But yeah, the age she is like that's people's grandmother's ages right now. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, my mom almost 60, dog.
Yeah, and I still ain't gonna, drop the age bomb. You know how I feel about saying people ages and all that. So
Yeah, my mom don't care. I joke about my mom's age all the time.
yeah. So, but that's the thing is like she definitely tried her best to instill in me like a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now whether I chose to accept it.
Yeah, that was on you. Whether you chose to accept it.
Right. But I know at the end of the day, when I come back years later, I could be like, oh, yeah, well, mom did try to teach me this. Let me see if this still works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a lot of different angles you could take from this. But I feel like as the generations go on, inch by inch, things will get better.
Yeah.
You know, it's trending in the right direction, I feel like.
It definitely is. Like me, I'm trying my best to break that generational curse. Like I'm teaching my nephews right now about how to handle their money and
Right.
teaching them the basics about finances and talking about taxes and stuff like that.
Right.
and I had a conversation with them, and they was complaining about having to write so much. Like they don't really have to do much in the way of homework or anything like that.
Right.
All I'm doing is I'm giving them a lecture. I have like slides prepared and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole presentation. Like while teaching them, I'm learning myself, and these are things that I should have been taught already.
Right.
But
so they don't like writing a lot.
yeah, they're not big on writing a lot. Like their arms get tired and stuff like that, and they start complaining.
So they ain't never get in trouble in school. Maybe you get in trouble in school.
Yeah,
I will not talk in class, and the teacher be like, "Yeah, write that 100 times." You know, everybody in class race.
Yeah, they can't do that. I don't even think they do that shit no more, bro.
Oh, they don't.
I don't know, bro.
We had some punishments. Like, when we was growing up, man.
So definitely, I had it happen to me before. But
well.
Yeah, I had to do it. And it was for simple shit too, like talking in class or something like
talking
that.
in class, I will not make jokes. You know what I'm saying? This, front and back. Every line on the front, every line on the back.
Yeah, like it definitely was a chore to have to do something like that. But I mean, it did teach us. Growing up,
right. I mean, you want once you got used to it, you know your hands wasn't gonna cramp up or nothing like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But, the kids nowadays they don't necessarily do much writing. It's more like typing, and a lot of them don't even type well.
Yeah, I can't say nothing. I don't type well, so yeah. I use 2 fingers, y'all.
Yeah, it's pretty much the tablet typing now.
Oh yeah, see that, man. If I had something like that where I felt like I had a phone in my hand. 2 thumbs, yeah, I'd be all right, but, yeah.
I mean, if I had, like, they don't even type, like, my nephews don't even type on their damn tablets, bro. They got the little text-to-speech shit.
Oh, yeah, that's too
speech-to-text.
Yeah, all right, then. I get where that go,
Yeah.
We was growing up. My mom had a typewriter, son. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, that's how my mom learned how to type, was a typewriter.
Yeah, you type a little down and slide it.
Hey, hope to God you don't mess up because you got to start the whole page.
Yeah, roll it down, baby.
Yeah.
We came out, hey, life in advance, haven't it?
It definitely has, bro. Well, I ain't gonna hold you like we kind of trailed off a bit.
We did. I was about to bring it back.
Yeah, we kind of trailed off, but
we gonna get the jokes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like this is the age we talking about. You're gonna have to slide the jokes in eventually.
Get the jokes off.
So
as far as like generational curses, what do you want to talk about your family's own? Because if you don't want to, you don't have to. Because there's plenty of curses to talk about in general.
I mean, we can just talk in generalities. Because honestly, like that fits the mold, and we have more ideas to jump off of. So it's like even in generations now. You look at how we handle our money, like in general.
Right.
Saving is considered the base of how you keep money around.
Okay.
Which is not always the case. Like they have this saying, like spend money to make money. But a lot of people just don't know how to spend money to make money.
Right.
Like they're looking in towards like, well, I'm gonna start a savings account and stuff like that. I'm just like, that's not the only way though.
Right.
It's not the only way. I mean, you do gain interest, and then that interest builds more interest, which is compound interest. But if you have only one form of saving, then that's where you hinder yourself.
Yeah, because that interest takes years.
It does, but and it's not really that big of a return unless you're actually putting more money in as the years go on.
Right.
And you can only take that type of money out when it's an emergency. So that makes it so that you have to save.
Right.
But if you need something for like the immediate future, or I need something out of this, I just need something immediately, and you can't just, it's not important enough for you to take it out of your savings account. You can do that with like stocks. Stocks work that way. Like you can take money out whenever you feel as though you need to.
Right.
However, like you just got to get the start up first.
Okay.
Like you can't just
to let people know, man. Break it down for people,
I'm
man.
not.
Like tell them that. What kind
I'm,
of, is it apps or
I'm
like
still learning myself. Really, it's just like
what you on?
it, huh?
What are you on?
Well, I started like right now. I got like Robinhood, but it's just like it's other apps you can go to. It's like Acorns and
Mm-hmm.
is I forgot like what's the other ones, but it's numerous ones that I can't really think of as of right now. But like E-Trade and stuff like that, like
Oh
they're
yeah, I'll get the classic. All right, so let me ask you this, because I'm a play the position of like a person that doesn't know any better about this, right? So I pull out my phone and I'll download one Robinhood.
yeah.
What's a smart investment?
Well, it depends on how much money you have, because a lot of people don't necessarily have money to like immediately spend.
Right.
So
What's a nice startup? Like if I'm down to I ain't gonna say my last $20, but if I only got $20 to spare, is that good enough to invest in something or
it definitely is.
okay?
Like if you have any amount of money, like if you want to invest something, like you don't even have to put it into a stock itself.
Okay.
Like you could just put that money into the like because it's pretty much connected to your account.
Right.
Like this is where having multiple accounts is a good thing. You can have an account specifically for your trading,
Okay.
which a lot of people do, which is the very smart thing to do. So you have an account specifically for trades,
Okay.
and then since that is directly connected to your account, then you can put money in, take money out. It just depends on your situation.
Right.
So if you gradually just put money in, you don't even really have to like invest in anything really. Like you can just use it as a savings account, but I highly recommend that you don't do that.
Okay.
But if you were to like, I say invest like like $5 a day. Imagine adding
$5 a day for how, like every day for like.
yeah, just $5 a day.
Well, I got that kind of mic on that money.
If
Mike.
you don't have that type of money, that's
Yeah,
cool.
That's like 2 weeks. That's like $100, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. I'm trying to make money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand, but I'm just saying, like, learn how to sacrifice certain luxuries in order for you to like invest. Like, you don't even have to invest $5. Like, you can invest like $2-3 a day, if that.
All right, that's more like it.
I understand. Like, not everybody has that type of money. Like me in general, I don't have that type of money.
No,
But
I can't tell. Shit.
like, nah, I don't, cause my my situation is just like I have a certain amount of money, but I want it to go specifically to one source.
Okay.
I mean, because first and foremost, like I still owe people some money and stuff like that. I'm not gonna invest everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I still got to pay people back. So,
Right.
and
And you don't want niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hold up, man. This nigga owe me $100.
yeah. So
He only checking on NASDAQ and Dow Jones
exactly,
and all that. Yeah.
exactly. So I mean, with me, it's just like if I do owe somebody some money and stuff like that, I fully intend to pay it back and shit. Like I'm not gonna like force you to have to come find me and gotta shake the money out of me. Nah, like I think about
turn it upside down and
I think about it I think about it every day. It's like, all right, I owe this person money. And I don't even ask. I'm not even the type of person to ask for money. This is something that I was just given out of the blue. So I completely understand the concept. It's like I'm not going to just jump in and put all of my money into the account and stuff like that. But if you do, I recommend like people invest like $2, maybe $3 a day. If you only had the money, like just invest $1. That's enough. Let's invest $1. Like you'd be good with that if that accumulates and then eventually you have enough money to buy like a good enough stock. That money that you put down for like I say about good 4 or 5 weeks, like that could set you up for making at least an extra $100 to $200.
Right. All right. So you was investing before the pandemic started, right?
Well, I wouldn't say before, but I definitely say I was investing like around like midway. Like not even midway. I think it was around like I think March.
Okay. Yeah. So I was gonna ask like, what's the biggest difference been pre-pandemic versus like during the pandemic? So is stuff still like?
Oh, pandemic definitely helped out as far as like investors that want to get really expensive stocks
Mm-hmm.
for dirt cheap.
Okay.
Cause there are a lot of businesses. I'm not gonna hold you here. Like there's a lot of businesses that are actually going under because of the
The pandemic.
because of the pandemic.
Right.
So it's kind of risky, but it's like it just depends on the stocks that you putting into. If you're into a stock just for the hell of it, and you really don't care too much about like doing your research,
Mm-hmm.
I recommend like you don't even try it because you tend to lose your money that way. But
Okay.
if you are in it, you want to gain money like for the future and not necessarily just for you in general. Like then I'd recommend like you doing all the research you can on anything before you even decide to like invest in anything.
Got you.
So and with me, like I do a lot of like research on things that I have like I really lean towards investing into.
Mm-hmm.
Like which one would I say? Like it's quite a few of them
I
that
mean,
I
you don't
have.
have to name nothing specific, but
Well, yeah,
you know, as long as the people know, like,
it,
the format and structure, you can probably figure it out on your own.
yeah,
So, as far as like the investing money thing goes, I'm gonna take it to the other side,
okay,
and I'm gonna get away from the stocks, and I'm gonna bring up something that I feel like generational curse maybe, but I wouldn't say it's more. I wouldn't say it's a curse. It's more so just like actually just doing it, and that's like if you have those said careers where you work at 30 or 40 years, or you have a job in general, and that's to just get like life insurance.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the people of the opposite race or other races, that's how a lot of them get like startup.
mhm,
The parents pass away, they inherit 100,000,
yeah.
$500,000.
I actually have life insurance on myself. Like, man, my mom, like she technically pays and stuff like that, but
Right,
she started me up like when I was a kid.
right. And so,
Like,
but that's a common problem
yeah,
because we see like when a lot of people die, GoFundMe's, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and they can't
And
pay for the funeral and
right,
stuff like
right,
that.
right. And then even if you can muster up money for the funeral, that's probably going to take everything you have.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so instead of just like something happening and you inherit a money, that's enough money to start up a couple of businesses.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? And then if as long as you choose something like wisely, that's going to be generational wealth,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we're going to also get into. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But I feel like you did the whole invest in the stocks thing, and I'm just going to touch on the side of like life insurance, especially because of how the area we grew up in and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, y'all, if you need help, you can look it up. It's not that hard. Just a little bit of reading, just a little 5-10 minutes. I promise you'll know enough of what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all can just get that, and that'll also because the problem that we have to attack from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just can't be like one fix or this and that. It has to be the same way that the system tries to take you out multiple ways, where all these like distractions and all these setbacks, you got to reverse attack it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that people need to look into.
Yeah. We need a broader spectrum.
Yeah. So, black businesses is flourishing, but it's flourishing based on people barely having the means to start it up, which is why a lot of them don't last either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you know how the common thing to tell somebody is, oh, you take $100 from every paycheck, and then you put it towards your business, you're gonna be all right. But that's not really true, because if you take all that money to start up a business, it takes more money to maintain it than to start it up, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And unless you know, pop up on a popular TV channel or radio station like instantly, it's gonna be a grind to get yourself out there.
Yeah.
And you know, you got your own businesses.
Well, technically, yeah, but you know, they're all startups. It's just like you
Right.
got to start somewhere. You're not gonna like. I had an idea with this. Like I wrote a book early this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the Black Power Project, and I talked about stuff like this, where people will start up businesses, and it was like businesses for sale, and some of them actually being like almost dirt cheap, like business buildings and stuff like that. Like you have like restaurants on the market for like $10,000 or something like that.
Right.
And really, I looked at that and I was like, two people, like if they really wanted to, they could buy that and then have their own little restaurant, and that could be like a mom and pop type of store. They could do some big things with that.
Right.
And given as though like as of right now, like we're heavily invested in like black businesses in general. Like,
right.
Well, I would say I've seen it firsthand, but I'm not gonna say everybody is like clamoring at the idea of doing it. But I'm just saying, like it's really easy, and for real, it's just like you don't need a Fortune 500.
Right.
But you can build a fortune with 500.
Okay.
Like, it's a possibility. Like, a lot of people, I would say, like, a vast majority of workers in, like, anywhere, as far as taxes are concerned throughout the year, like, once they get their tax returns, stuff like that, man, I hear so many people say, let me do whatever I want to do with my tax money, is mine, and all that stuff. It's like, I'm not judging you for it, but I'm just saying, like, you could have done something better with it.
Right.
Like, there are avenues where you can go to where you can make your tax money every couple of weeks.
Right.
Like, you can make tax return money every couple of weeks if you actually pay attention and do things the way the white people are doing it. Really, like they making money off of shit like that.
Right.
Like, there are businesses being started with little to nothing.
Right.
Just a hope and a prayer.
Right.
And people running around $8,000-$9,000 and bought like 6 TVs and again 5 pairs of Jordans and a whole bunch of useless stuff that's probably gonna go bad like within the first 6 years of you having it anyway, and you're gonna buy another one.
Right.
So it's a bad investment.
Well, those are normally the people who don't want businesses. The people who tend to want to start up stuff, they not. You know how life works. You normally not the one entitled to the $5,000-$6,000. You don't know anybody that the scams that they got going on with these business loans and get a free $10,000 and all.
Yeah, man, they do some wild shit around tax season.
Yeah, so it's like it's so much like to break down on what needs to be like done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that technically that alone is a generational curse.
Oh yeah. Everything we talk about, I feel like is somewhat a curse. You know what I'm saying? And
but it's not necessarily our fault, really. Like, we weren't really given the opportunity to be financially literate.
It's still a curse though.
It is.
You know,
It
like
is.
whether like whether it's your fault or not, you know, we not making it any easier either. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that is true.
Like, you know, if I say like if we walking down the street and we in a certain area and one of us gets shot, that's not your fault. Well, unless you beef with somebody, then it might be. Well, if we two innocent bystanders in the area and one of us gets shot, that's not your fault. Now, if I choose to come back to this area knowing I got shot and I get shot again, I'm like, bro, that might be your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, fool me once, you know, shame on me, or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ain't shame on you. Like, you just ain't around the shame at all.
yeah. But it's like that's you know, the blame. I ain't gonna say it ain't 50-50. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's not.
It ain't.
It's definitely not 50-50.
Yeah, it's more like 80-20.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the powers that be just bank on people like folding under pressure.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Because around that time, like, a lot of people are going through financial crisis, and they just like, I need this money in order to take care of this and that and this and that. Because some people, they need like a new car because they can't get back and forth to work,
Right.
and stuff like that. That's completely understandable. I don't fault people for stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're buying, because essentially that's investing.
Yeah,
Because if you're buying something that's going to lead you to get more money, like getting to work is essential. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get that.
Me waking up and saying like, okay, your state federal tax has been directly deposited, and then I go to the mall and be like, I want these, like you said, I want these Jordans. Target got a 70-inch that's on sale. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna cop the new PS5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I want a PlayStation. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, but if you do get a PlayStation, if you like a streamer or something like that, I understand that. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, even if you're not, though, I feel like you could buy something nice for yourself.
Yeah,
you just can't.
That is true. Just don't go overboard.
Yeah, don't go overboard, especially if you know you're not in a position. Because you know a lot of people out here, like we was having this conversation the other day. A lot of kids and stuff out here, they just out here. They don't want to start a business out. Yeah. If you're winning, it's also damn. I wanted to say this for the next curse that I wanted to talk about, but it's kind of going to lead right into it, I guess. It's also why black people are so divided.
Yeah, that too.
You know, because if I'm struggling to make ends meet, and I feel like it's because of the system for the most part, and I'm trying to take down the system, and there's other people that feel as though they see my vision, they want to take down the system too. But for you winning in life.
Yeah.
You don't want to take down the system.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So while you watching us, again, Squidward peeking out the window at SpongeBob and Patrick.
Hey, why the fuck I gotta be?
No, I'm talking to people in general, not you, but I'm talking about like the people in general and shit. It's like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Watching them like, oh, look at these niggas. You know, like you got a career, you got a car, you got a house, you married, you got kids, you got the white picket fence. You know what I'm saying? Like. You got the acre or two of land. Like, what do you want to take down the system for?
Yeah, the system benefits. Yeah, bro, that's why people work for benefits, man. Once they get the benefits, they don't even care about the rest of the workers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's a curse in itself of why people can't like stick together.
Yeah, that's actual facts, bro. Like I have people that I know personally that just don't give a damn about nobody.
Right.
And
right.
I'm just like, man, like if you put all of that time and effort that you had, like just denying the rest of the world, like you'd be dangerous if you joined up with us.
Yeah, like shit.
Like it's crazy. Like we have so many resources at our disposal. Like, but we just don't use it because we're so separated.
Definitely separated.
And especially in areas like this, because you know, like they talk about the DMV being, well, not even just DMV, but Maryland in general having, well, PG County having the highest population of black wealth
Yeah,
in the entire U.S.
which is a argument in itself. But
It
continue.
is. It is. Hey, but the thing is, they don't pay attention to the fact that a lot of the black people that are like wealthy, they don't like have the money circulate. Like they rather just they take the money, they leave the hood, or as a matter of fact, a lot of them don't even come from the hood at all.
Facts.
And they just be like, well, the rest of them niggas could just fend for themselves and shit.
Right, because it's a different, you know, it's a different side of PG County that, as you can attest to, like, we can just go right up the street to Upper Marlboro.
Exactly.
You know, where the houses look all luxurious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole other side of PG County that's just like that, which is where I think most of the wealth is. Cause I can tell you where we live at right here,
dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, where we live at right here, I mean, you know, we in houses, so you know, thank God, thank my mom for that.
Yeah.
But
thanks, Mom. We love
you. We ain't wealthy. We ain't not wealthy. I'm not wealthy.
We're not.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just an argument in itself. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like because DC used to be so chocolate city, I feel like once they start gentrifying the area, most of the people kind of just came to PG County.
Yeah.
Which is where it's like probably the new chocolate city. And you know, I mean, shout out, you know, and I'm not talking down to the wealthy either, because if you flourished in this system, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, bro.
Yeah, like odds against all odds, and you, I'm trying to get where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I'm
no hate over here.
Yeah,
it's like
scratching and clawing, but at the same time, you know, y'all niggas can help too. You ain't gotta give up 100,000 or something, but you can fund somebody's business, or you could. It's something you could do. You could buy from somebody,
or just invest in black businesses and just like go there. Like that's it. Like just show up, be a supporter and just like buy a shirt or something.
Yeah, because that's
like it's niggas at the bottom that's buying Gucci. Like it's just like
like this a purchase here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's another thing. And when I do the TED Talks, which debuts twice a month, y'all, on my YouTube channel, Teddy B Black Man Reactions. My bad for the shameless shilling, but when I do the TED Talks, I always ask artists when they come through, how do you feel like the support is when you're doing your craft? And everybody says the same thing. You know, it's it's people that's close to you that you thought would be like in your corner don't really be in your corner.
Yeah.
Strangers support better than anybody you know. And your family's kind of inconsistent. So do you agree?
Well, I can definitely say that my family was really attentive with me, like as far as like noticing my work.
Okay.
Like it was like the start off to where I remember when I wrote my first book in I think like 2000. Well, actually, I published my first book in like 2013 or something like that. It was called The Red World Off, but it's not available anymore because I mean the contract's up.
Okay.
But I remember when I first wrote that, like my grandma was actually the person who funded that, really, like.
Okay.
And it was just a gift. Like she didn't even like. I didn't ask her for it. She just helped push it forward in order for it to go through production. And I was like, yo, like that's love. But I wouldn't say like all family members are going to be like 100% on board with it.
Right.
Like with your craft. Like you do have those moments where you start to question the family members that you are really around. Because I remember when I had a situation where I had like the Red World, like it was actually a horror adventure, like a horror like adventure novel, and I had a family member that I was gonna give it to like. It was actually, I think she paid for it. It's like around that time it was like $20, something like that, or something like, I don't remember how much it was. It was something, but I had her like she paid for it. I gave her an autograph for it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me what type of book it was, and I was like, "Oh, it's just a horror adventure novel and stuff like that." And she was like, I can't read that because I'm religious and stuff like that." I was like, she tried to give it back, and I was just like, "Damn, for real?"
Right. Yeah. That's yeah. So that's probably a lot of what's going on there. Because if that was your situation, then you can just imagine like a person making music
Yeah,
and the type of music that they might make.
yeah,
And yeah, so on my end, my immediate family is like supportive.
yeah,
Like my my mom, she watches, and my mom is super religious, so that's why you know how when we be shooting, and I be like sometimes I don't want to cuss.
yeah,
Yeah, because she tends to like she'll watch it, but she doesn't like to watch like if we just constantly cussing. Like that's kind of here and there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a cuss word here and there, that's alright. But she watches like all of our stuff. And you remember when you first came over here and met her for the first time?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I know you look familiar. I just ain't, what I'm saying? Like, I just ain't nowhere. So yeah. So even though she's not supposed to, she does it. And of course, my sister's into it. Nieces and nephews, they be into it. They be wanting to do like little stuff like that because they do like my two nieces. They do the little YouTube thing, but they just be like doing like TikTok and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And why I'm too old for that.
You
What I'm saying? Like, they want to get into a skit one day. That's cool. But yeah, outside of that, is like my uncle. He's more supportive of the photo shoots because of the models. So, he'll come over every once in a blue moon. Hey, that's that chocolate girl that you posted on Facebook last week. And I was like, oh yeah, that was just a little photo shoot I did. Oh, she's single? I'm like, Unc, you like twice her age, Unc. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she is, but that's just regular guy,
Yeah.
Because every I post like photo shoot pictures and niggas like flood the inbox too. You know what I'm saying? Girls want photo shoots. Niggas be wanting to know who is it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't on Instagram. I tag them, whoever it is. Facebook, I don't, because I don't really be friends with them on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But friends wise, that's kind of like true. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like it's true to a degree, but I also understand because your friends be busy trying to put shit together too. You know what I'm saying? And unless you just like, I would still feel like you should make some time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like when we do videos, and obviously you live behind me, but
Yeah.
when we when we do videos, it's like you could be the busiest person in the world. We could take Maurice for example. Maurice is super busy, but he'll take time to come through every now and again. And we'll and we hang out all the time. But as far as like helping each other with our crafts, he'll come through every once in a while. He'll pop into a video.
Yeah.
He'll give advice. He'll do this, and then I'll accompany him when he do his workouts, take some pictures, record,
Yeah.
and then it's just like that's cool.
It's a creative exchange.
Right, and not even that, because I feel like I don't even look at it as business with like the likes of him.
Of course.
Yeah, because that's my bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
for a brick now, like Mo's the man, son.
yeah. So it's like I feel like it's no excuse, because all I do is assess like situations.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like nobody's busier than him. So if he can do it,
Man, unless you got like 7 kids or something like that.
But
I
even
can't.
still, it's like, bro, it's people around here. They got like a bunch of kids. That's why when people say, hey, you make time for who you make time for, which is true.
Yeah,
But I'm not going to touch on that right now. I'll wait till episode 3 when we get to talking about the females,
yeah.
which will be out next week, y'all. But you make time for who you make time for. That's true, because I know people that got 2 jobs, 2 kids, married, and still got time to come hang out every once in a while when we throw cookouts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, it's all about, I guess, whether you really bang with somebody or not.
yeah. I get that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Like, it ain't picture perfect support, but, in this area, the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, whatever, I don't know, people together or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
In this
like-
area, you got to be super popular, and I'm doing the air quotation.
Yeah.
You know,
y'all can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the air quotes
yeah,
right
you
now.
gotta be popular. They done turn this shit back into high school. So if you ain't sticking, you ain't getting the support for real.
Yeah,
And I don't know. It's a process, but niggas is getting there.
yeah, definitely. Like the building of the brand is like the biggest portion. Like once you start building the brand, like through advertisement and stuff like that, like it's not even just advertising yourself. Just build a fan base. Matter of fact, not even a fan base. Just for real, just a friend base.
Yeah.
Like people who really are gonna be around you and care about your craft enough to where they want to be a part of it. They want to help, and they want you to help them. And it's not even a creative exchange anymore. It's just a friendship and knowing exactly where you want to go in life together.
Right.
And I must say, like I've met quite a few people like that since I started my business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since I started like businesses in general, not even just the like the clothing stuff. It was just with the short films and like my random just motivational quotes that I make up and just start posting and stuff like that. Like I feel as though that I do have people that would care about my craft if I was to take it to like a more upscale level.
Mm-hmm.
So I must say that the people who think that starting a business or just putting yourself out there is a bad thing or it has a chance of like backfiring and stuff like that. I mean, that's also true. But the people that you meet along the way that are willing to help you out and actually just be a part of it, like that's a big plus. Like, 'cause you can create lifelong friendships that turn into billions of dollars
Facts.
along the way.
Facts.
So never really look at this as like I don't know. It's not like an easy out, really. Because you can't just jump into something and just say, oh, well, I'm going to leave the hood in 2 weeks. That's not how it works.
No.
It's a process.
Definitely a process.
And
Unless something just like, you hit the lottery and you go viral or something.
yeah, that there, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you are some Ha Davis type shit, yeah. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So it is people that go that route, but you should always have a plan and structure in place. And if that happens, then so be it. But until then, you got a blueprint that you're following.
Just don't be a one-trick pony. Like you can, like they always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket, which is truthful.
Facts.
Like,
so where did that come from? Was that like some type of Easter egg like ordeal or like what?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, but because we say that we use like a lot of the old school cliches, and then some of them just be sounding like who sat around and made that up? You know what I'm saying?
The
Like
pot calling the kettle black.
yeah, like
My mom used to say that to me all the time.
Yeah,
Pretty much
like
them saying
you a hypocrite. Like
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
I'd rather you just say that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like but I get it. Wordplay, rapping, all that's like out of this world cool. So yeah, so it didn't feel like it, but it's been 60 minutes.
You serious?
Yeah, we're at the 59-minute and 40-second mark. So you got any final thoughts?
And final thoughts, really, I not really, but I'll save my thoughts for the next time we touch on this subject because this won't be the last time.
Oh no, heck no, heck no,
It
heck
won't be
no.
the last time. So chances are, like you're gonna hear more of this going forward.
Yeah. So
And
whenever y'all see the way we label it, and I mean, this will be episode number 2. So whenever y'all see, episode 2.5 down the line or something, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is, man.
exactly.
So I'm Ave.
I'm Mike or Tony Michaels and whichever one you want to call me.
This nigga here. And this is the Breaking the Narrative podcast, which I think we did a good job of that today.
Oh, definitely.
And we out.